This is Troy's story. Troy is from Torbay and he's 16 years old, and he had a conversation with Nicholas Smith of the Public Health Team, the team that commissions substance abuse services for young people. The service is called Checkpoint, and Nicola asks Troy about his recent experience of having support from Checkpoint. Mike is Troy's support worker at Checkpoint, and he features in the interview toward the end. Troy, Nicola and Mike are not their real names, but they are real people. Their real names have been changed to protect their identities. The conversation is read by actors.
Hello, Troy. Tell me how you came into contact with Checkpoint in the first place.
My family contacted the school about a year ago, I think. And the school got in touch with Mike at Checkpoint.
And why was that? Because they were worried about you?
Yes.
What were their concerns?
I was hanging around with the wrong people.
So when you got in touch with Checkpoint, did you go into their afternoon drop-in?
No, Mike came up to the school.
And when you first met Mike, how was that?
Bit awkward to start with.
And did Mike explain to you what the concerns were around why he was there?
Yeah.
And did you understand the concerns at that point?
Yeah.
Had you started getting into trouble?
Yeah, stealing from the family.
Troy comes across as quite shy to start with, but he's articulate and also self-aware.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about what your life was like when you started to see Mike?
I didn't see a problem at the time, but Mike helped me see what the problem was.
And when you started talking to Mike, you didn't really understand what the fuss was all about, really?
No.
How long did it kind of take for it to start making sense?
A few months.
Okay. And when the penny started to drop, what is it you realised about your life probably wasn't the best for you? What was it that you realised that you were doing?
Taking bad substances.
Okay. And what were those?
Cannabis and other stuff like N-bomb.
And N-bomb used to be a legal high, but now it's a Class A drug.
You could buy it in the shop.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
And was that because you were hanging around with people who encouraged you to join them in what they were doing?
No, it was my decision.
Okay. It sounds like you're taking full responsibility for your choices to take drugs.
Indeed.
Checkpoint works with young people to help them realise the dangers of taking substances on their health, their well-being and their lives in general. Workers help young people to reduce the dangers associated with their drug use and, when they're ready, to stop.
So at some point, after you were meeting with Mike, you made a choice to stop or to reduce the harm that you were putting yourself in, did you?
I reduced the amount.
Well done. And from time to time, do you still take substances now?
Not no more.
What places, when you were meeting up with Mike, what kind of places did you meet up in?
We had first meetings at the school, first 5 or 10. Then we started meeting at McDonald's. Sometimes we'd talk in his car if we were going somewhere.
So you had your meetings, and were they often?
Once a week.
Did you look forward to them in a funny way?
Yeah.
Does he talk sense? Do you like him?
Yeah.
Change can be hard no matter who you are and what you're changing. Helping people make healthy changes is a big part of working in a substance misuse service.
So, you reduced and stopped your drug use. Do you hang around with those same people now?
No.
Do you do anything instead? Did you replace that in your life with anything else? Because it's important to have friends.
Just meet with people on my course.
Okay, what kind of things do you do?
I do running with my friend, also going to his house.
Was it hard to make some changes in your life?
Yes.
Mike prompts Troy to remember the time when he decided for himself to stop using drugs.
So I'm thinking about Troy, that car journey back from when we went to Exeter. That was a good conversation, wasn't it?
Yes.
Do you remember what we talked about?
Those were the N-bomb days.
So do you remember that? Because obviously it was a huge journey and Nicola doesn't know about it, and that to me felt like a very big moment, and all of a sudden the way you were talking about drugs began to change.
You convinced me to throw them N-bomb tablets down the toilet, and I did when I got home.
What was the concern? What was the problem?
You can die from them.
You can do. People do die from them, unfortunately.
I was taking it alone in my room because before I'd had a bad trip in it and had to phone the ambulance.
And tell me about your cannabis use.
I was smoking it with N-bombs.
And it was quite potent cannabis, which has got an hallucinogenic bit, and you were reporting quite big experiences, weren't you?
Yes.
How much weed were you smoking, Troy?
Gram a day, every day for about a year and a half. Got £300 for my birthday, spent all that on weed.
Did you?
Yeah,
That's significant.
I was only about 14.
Do you recognise any of the triggers that made you take those steps into drug use?
Yeah, it was just because everyone else did it. And I started and then got like dependent on it. I like had bongs when I woke up first thing in the morning, straight before I'd go back to bed.
Troy talks about his motivation to make changes in his life.
You want to talk about the time when it started to make sense to you? You want me to start it off?
Yes.
Troy's had a long dream since he was little and wanting to be in the fire service. Take over, Troy.
I want to be in the fire service, yeah. Ever since I was young.
Really? Wow.
Yeah?
So, we went to talk to them and they said, Troy, you need to go away and gain weight and fitness.
Yes.
So Troy was like, how are we going to do this? So what we decided, Checkpoint and Troy, is that we would get Troy a personal trainer at the gym and Checkpoint would pay half and Troy would pay half. It was our feeling that as Troy had been able to find enough resources to fund quite a substantial cannabis habit at the time, he could find the resources for this. And Troy said, yes, absolutely I can. And he did that. So he had 10 sessions at the gym and Troy has surpassed all the things he's been expected to do. And now you're above that weight. Am I right?
Uh-huh.
You might be one of the most determined applicants, I think.
Yes, determined, very determined. And that determination, I think, was applied to his deep attachment to drugs. And I think that shifted. I haven't done it. Troy did it. I've just been there.
He gave me the tools.
What were they then?
Motivation and information?
When you look back on your journey, are you proud?
Yes.
What a career as well. How awesome. Do you think you would have achieved that turnaround if it wasn't for Checkpoint?
No. I'd still be where I was a year ago.
You might have been worse, mightn't you?
Yes.
And your family, have they shared your journey?
Yeah, because I was smoking it in the house, in my room, yeah?
And what about your relationship with your family now?
We're okay now.
Troy had a pretty significant drug use as a teenager. With the help of Checkpoint, he connected with a sense of purpose for his life that motivated him to overcome his drug use and the risks he was taking with his health. Mike is part of the team who provides drug and alcohol and other lifestyle advice to young people. If you're a young person, you can get in contact with Checkpoint. You don't need an appointment if you use the drop-in any weekday afternoon. Checkpoint details are on the home page.